Chapter 5. Signals, Signs, and Markers. Traffic signals. Traffic signals help provide for the orderly movement of traffic. Drivers must obey these signals, except when a law enforcement officer is directing traffic. You must obey a law enforcement officer at all times when they are directing traffic, even if she is telling you to do something which is ordinarily considered against the law. Steady red light stop. Stop before entering the crosswalk or intersection. You may turn right unless prohibited by law. You may also turn left if both streets are one way, unless prohibited by law. You must yield to all pedestrians and other traffic, lawfully using the intersection. A flashing red light. Stop completely before entering the crosswalk or intersection, then proceed when you can do so safely. Vehicles on the intersecting road may not have to stop. Steady yellow light caution. A steady yellow light warns drivers to use caution and to alert them the light is about to change to red. You must stop before entering the nearest crosswalk at the intersection if you can do so safely. If a stop cannot be made safely, then you may proceed cautiously through the intersection before the light changes to red. A flashing yellow light. A flashing yellow light warns drivers to slow down and proceed with caution. A flashing yellow arrow for left turns. A flashing yellow arrow allows a driver to turn left, but the driver must yield the right-of-way to oncoming traffic. Steady green light go. The steady green light means the driver can proceed on a green light if it is safe to do so. You may drive straight ahead or turn unless prohibited by another sign or signal. Watch for cars and pedestrians in the intersection. Be aware of reckless drivers who may race across the intersection to beat a red light. Green arrow displayed at the same time as a red light. A green arrow displayed at the same time as a red light means the driver can proceed carefully in the direction of the arrow after yielding the right-of-way to other vehicles and pedestrians. Left turn on green. You can turn left on a green light. However, you must yield the right-of-way to all traffic that is approaching from the opposite direction before turning. Traffic signs. Traffic signs can help you to be a better driver because they 1. Warn of hazards ahead that are difficult to see. 2. Guide drivers to their destination by identifying the route. 3. Inform of local regulations and practices. 4. Regulate the speed and movement of traffic. The standard colors table shows colors commonly used on road signs and explains what each color means. Table 16. Standard colors. Color description. Red, stop, yield, or do what is posted on the sign. Green, indicated movements permitted, direction guidance. Blue, motorist services guidance. Yellow, general warning or caution. Black, regulation. White, regulation. Orange, construction and maintenance warning. Orange, retroreflective, used on various types of signs. Brown, public recreation and scenic guidance. Knowing the shapes of these signs will help you know what to do when you are approaching from a distance. Table 17, signs by shape. Shape description. Octagon, exclusively for stop signs. Horizontal rectangle, generally for guide signs. Equilateral triangle, exclusively for yield signs. Pennant, advance warning of no pass zones. Diamond, exclusively to warn of existing or possible hazards on roads or adjacent areas. Vertical rectangle, generally for regulatory signs. Pentagon, school advance and school crossing signs. Round, railroad advance warning signs. Warning signs. Warning signs alert drivers to conditions that are immediately ahead and tell them what to look for. There may be road hazards, changes in direction, or some other situation you should know about. Not only must warning signs be observed for safety reasons, but to disregard them may be a traffic violation. When you encounter a warning sign, 1. Pay attention. 2. Follow instructions. 3. Reduce speed to at least the posted speed signs. The following table provides examples of common warning signs. Table 18, warning signs. Sign and description. Warns of a traffic control signal. Ahead. Height of underpass from road. Surface is shown. Do not try to enter. If your load is higher than the figure shown on the sign, advises you are approaching a section of highway where the opposing Flows of traffic are separated by a median island. You are approaching a point where two roads come together and an additional lane begins. You are not required to merge. Watch for traffic. In the new lane, the road curves one way, right? And then the other way left. Slow down, keep right, and do not pass. Another road enters the road you are traveling on from the direction. Show. Watch for traffic from that direction. Slow down, the road surface ahead is in poor condition. Cross traffic. Road ahead makes a sharp turn in the direction of the arrow, right? Slow down, keep right, and do not pass. There is a winding road ahead. Drive slowly and carefully and do not pass the divided highway you are traveling in ahead. Be careful as you approach the point where two-way traffic begins again. Slow down on wet road. Do not suddenly turn, speed up, or stop. You should drive in the right-hand lane and expect oncoming traffic in the left-hand lane. Road ahead makes a gradual curve in the direction of the arrow, right? Slow down, keep right, and do not pass. Cross road ahead, slow down, and watch for cross traffic. Look carefully in all directions for traffic. Gives advance notice of a reduction in the number of lanes of pavement ahead. T intersection. Y intersection or side road traffic to the right. You are approaching a point where other traffic lanes come together with the one you are in. Watch for traffic from that direction. You are near an area where a large number of pedestrians cross the street. Slow down and watch for pedestrians. You are near a school. Slow down. Watch for children and prepare to stop suddenly if necessary. The surface of the road is covered with loose gravel. Go slow enough to keep complete control of your vehicle. Do not apply brakes suddenly or make sharp turns. Mounted in front of an obstruction, which is close to the edge of the road, such as culverts or cinder, piers on divided highways. Mounted immediately in front of an obstruction or at short changes in road alignment. You are approaching a T intersection and must turn left or right. Be prepared to yield the right-of-way at the intersection if necessary. There is a low place in the road. Slow down in order to avoid losing control of your vehicle or an uncomfortable jolt. Use extreme caution to avoid running off the paved portion of the highway because the dirt on the side of the pavement is soft and may cause you to lose control of the car. The bridge ahead is not as wide as the road. Slow down and use caution. The road you are traveling on intersects a highway ahead. Slow down. Look to the right and to the left for other traffic and be prepared to stop. The road ahead makes a sharp turn to the right and then a sharp turn to the left. Slow down, keep right, and do not pass. Warns of hazardous condition on bridge caused by ice. This sign will be displayed continuously during winter time periods. Drivers should slow down, avoid applying brakes suddenly or making sharp or sudden movements used to indicate the alignment of the road as an aid to night driving. Table 18, warning signs continued. Sign and description indicates traffic is permitted to pass on either side of a traffic island or an obstruction used to mark the ends of the side rails of narrow bridges and other obstructions. Slow your speed and watch for trucks entering or crossing the road or highway. The pavement narrows ahead. Slow down and proceed with caution. The hard-surfaced pavement changes to an earth road or low-type surface. Slow down. There is a significant drop from the pavement edge to the shoulder. If you must leave the pavement, slow down and steer firmly. The pavement has been grooved to lessen the possibility of slippery pavement in wet weather. Motorcyclists should use caution. Slow down and watch for individuals who may be disabled or who may be crossing the road in wheelchair. Sign and description You are approaching a downgrade. All drivers approach with caution. It may be necessary to use a lower gear to slow your vehicle. The sign will have yellow lights, flashing top and bottom when the freeway ramp ahead is metered. The ramp meter, red or green, directs motorists when to enter the freeway. There is a sudden high place in the road ahead. Slow down in order to avoid losing control of your vehicle or an uncomfortable jolt. The road ahead curves sharply. Slow down, keep right, and do not pass the lane end ahead. If you are driving in the right lane, you should merge into the left. Be prepared for a stop sign ahead. Regulatory and warning signs. Regulatory traffic signs instruct drivers what they should or should not do in certain circumstances. Drivers must obey all regulatory signs in the same manner as traffic laws. These signs help protect the safety of all road users. The following table provides examples of common regulatory and warning signs. Table 19. Regulatory and warning signs. Sign and description. If you wish to turn at an intersection where this sign is posted, do so only in the direction indicated by the arrow. High occupancy vehicle, have preferential lane. Buses and vehicles used for carpools may use this lane only between the hours of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Do not cross yellow lines. The distance you can see ahead is so limited that passing another vehicle is hazardous and you may not pass. This sign indicates 2 lanes of traffic are permitted to turn left. The traffic in the left lane must turn left. Traffic in the other lane has a choice. Do not park, stop, or allow your vehicle to stand idling in a parking space reserved for disabled individuals unless your vehicle has a disabled license plate or windshield identification card. Turning left at an intersection where this sign is posted is prohibited. Making a U-turn at an intersection where this sign is posted is prohibited. If you see this sign facing you, you are driving the wrong way on a one-way street, and you are directly opposing the flow of traffic. Sign and description. Stop, a red stop sign with white letters, or a yellow sign with black letters. The stop sign means come to a complete stop. Yield to pedestrians or other vehicles, and then proceed carefully. Stop before the crosswalk, intersection, or stop sign. This applies to each vehicle that comes to the sign. Slowing down is not adequate. Advisory speed sign. This sign gives the highest speed which you can safely travel. Around the curve ahead. Do not pass other vehicles. Stay in the right-hand lane if you are driving slower than other vehicles on the road. Indicates the speed at which the exit ramp from a highway may be traveled safely. This sign tells you the maximum speed in mph you are permitted to travel. Sign also indicates the maximum speeds permitted on the road for daytime and nighttime. Trucks are prohibited from using or entering the roadway where the sign is displayed. Drive to the right of this sign. This sign is used in advance of islands and medians. Table 19. Regulatory and warning signs continued. Sign description. The road or street ahead is for one way. Traffic traveling in the opposite direction. You must not drive in that direction or else you will be driving into oncoming traffic. This sign tells you the road you are on joins with another road ahead. You should slow down or stop if necessary so you can yield the right-of-way to vehicles, pedestrians, or bicycles on the other road. School zone. The speed shown is in effect when the yellow light is flashing. Be extremely careful for school children. Red light photo enforced. Drivers should not change lanes or turn across the double white lines. Vehicles facing the signal with a green arrow may proceed safely into the intersection. While turning left, you are protected from oncoming traffic that must stop for vehicles at an intersection. Vehicles turning at a protected light should use caution. This designates the shoulder of the road. should only be used by vehicles required to stop because of mechanical breakdown, tire trouble, lack of fuel, or other emergencies. The road ahead is not open to any traffic. Look for a detour or other route. Instructs drivers that all traffic on the same roadway must merge into one lane. Sign description. This sign marks a place where you may cross over to the other side of the divided highway. The use of a wireless communication device is prohibited in the school zone. These signs are added to a stop sign, advising that all approaching traffic to this intersection must stop before proceeding in the order you arrived. If two vehicles arrive at the same time, yield to the vehicle on your right. On roadways with more than one lane, with vehicles traveling in the same direction, slower traffic should travel in a lane other than the farthest left lane. The farthest left lane is for passing only. The center lane is only used for vehicles turning left and should never be used for passing or moving through traffic. The only time a vehicle should enter the center lane is at a point where the vehicle will have time to slow down or stop to make it. Safe left turn. A green signal will indicate when you may turn left. Vehicles driving in the right lane must turn right at the next intersection unless the sign indicates a different turning point. Advisory speed sign. This sign gives the highest speed at which you can safely travel around the turn ahead. Guide signs. Guide signs are especially helpful when you are not familiar with an area. Guide signs tell you what road you are on and help you arrive at your destination safely. The table below provides examples of common guide signs. Table 20, Guide signs. Sign description. The only place where you may lawfully throw your trash on the highway is in a litter barrel. This sign advises that such a barrel is 1 mile ahead. Litter barrels are also found at all rest/picnic areas. Texas route marker signs tell you what road you are or will be traveling on. Plan your trip and know which road you want to take. Interstate route marker signs tell you what road you are on. Plan your trip and know which roads you want to take. These signs are usually mounted above the road. The arrows indicate the lane or lanes to be used to follow a particular highway route. Mileposts provide a means of identifying the location of crashes, breakdowns, or other emergencies. Mileposts are erected every mile on interstate highways. Sign description. The lane that has this sign above it exits ahead. This sign tells you what road you are on. It is a short state highway in a city or urban area. Indicates an officially designated highway that branches off the regularly numbered highway and goes through the business portion of the city. Travel information. This sign tells you which way to go and how far you must travel to get to cities, airports, and other destinations. Lane use control signals are overhead. Signals indicating if motorists should drive in a specific lane. If a red X appears above a lane, a driver should not drive in that lane. A steady yellow X means a driver should prepare to safely vacate the lane over which the signal is located because a lane control change is being made. A steady downward green arrow means a driver is permitted to drive in the lane over which the arrow signal is located. Lane use control signals can be used on streets or highway. Railroad warning signs. Railroad crossing. This sign means you are within a few hundred feet of a railroad crossing. Slow down and be prepared to stop. If you see a train coming, stop. Never try to beat a train. Railroad crossbuck. Railroad crossbuck signs are posted at every railroad, highway, road, or street grade crossing and show the location of the train tracks. If more than one track is to be crossed, the sign will show the number of tracks. Always slow down. Look, listen, and be prepared to yield the right-of-way to an approaching train. Emergency notification system. Emergency notification system signs are posted so the public may report unsafe situations and for railroads to respond to malfunctioning warning signals, vehicles stalled on the tracks, or other emergency situations. Posted on each sign are an emergency contact number and U.S. Department of Transportation USDOT National Crossing Inventory Number. The inventory number identifies the exact location of the crossing. Gate and flashing light. Stop when the lights begin to flash before the gate lowers across your side of the road. Remain stopped until the gates are raised and the lights stop flashing. At railroad crossings, stop within 15 feet to 50 feet of the nearest rail when 1. You are directed to do so by a flag person. 2. There are flashing red lights or warning bells sounding. 3. There is any warning device telling you a train is coming. Pavement markings. Pavement markings help you just like signs and signals. They are used to warn and direct drivers and to regulate traffic. Two-lane rural road with two-way traffic. Keep to the right of the yellow center line. You may cross a broken line when passing another vehicle or when the right half of the road is closed. Do not cross the line if it is not safe or it is a solid yellow line. Three-lane one-way roads. When each lane on a one-way road is marked with a broken white line, you may drive in any lane. When turning from a one-way road, make sure you move into the lane closest to the turn you are going to make well in advance of your turn. Left turn lane only. The only time a vehicle should enter the center lane is at a point where the vehicle will have time to slow down or stop in order to make a safe left turn maneuver. Left turn lane only. Multi-lane highway, 4 or more lanes. Do not cross the double yellow line to pass. Stay in your lane as much as possible. If you are driving slower, keep in the right-hand lane. Solid and broken lines. A solid yellow line on your side of the road marks a no passing zone. Broken or dashed lines permit you to pass or change lanes, if safe. Crosswalks. White crosswalk lines are painted across a road to indicate pedestrian crossing areas. Pedestrians should use these areas when crossing the road. At intersections where stop lines are missing, you must stop before the crosswalk when required to stop by traffic signs, traffic signals, or pedestrians in the crosswalk. White stop lines. White stop lines are painted across the pavement lanes at traffic signs or signals. Where these lines are present, you are required to stop behind the stop line. Solid lines. Solid white lines are used for pavement edge lines, shoulder markings, channelizing, transitions, and lane use control. Crossing. Solid white lines should be avoided if possible. The solid yellow line on the left edge of the road is a guide for drivers to indicate driving to the left of the yellow line is prohibited. This type of yellow line can be found on interstate highways. Crossing is prohibited where there is a pavement marking of double solid white lines. Barrels. Barrels that are engineered to act as an impact cushion reduce the seriousness of crashes. These barrels are usually installed in front of a solid obstacle and in areas of high crash frequency. Hearing impaired. If you see this flag on the back of a bicycle, slow down, as the bicycle operator may be hearing impaired. This sign may also be displayed on vehicles to alert others the driver may be hearing impaired. Construction and maintenance devices. Various traffic control devices are used in construction and maintenance work areas to direct drivers, bicyclists, or pedestrians safely through the work zone and to provide for the safety of the workers. The most commonly used traffic control devices are signs, barricades, vertical panels, drums, cones, tubes, flashing arrow panels, and flag individuals. Orange is the basic color for these devices. When you are in a construction and maintenance work area, be prepared. 1. To slow down or stop as you approach workers and equipment. 2. To change lanes. 3. For unexpected movements of workers and equipment. Construction and maintenance signs. Construction and maintenance signs are used to alert drivers of unusual or potentially dangerous conditions in or near work areas. Most signs in work areas are diamond-shaped, but a few are rectangular. Table 21. Construction and maintenance signs. Channelizing devices. Barricades, vertical panels, drums, cones, and tubes are the most commonly used devices to alert drivers of unusual or potentially dangerous conditions in highway and street work areas, and to guide drivers safely through the work zone. At night, channelizing. Devices are often equipped with flashing or steady burn lights. When you encounter any type of channelizing device, 1. Slow down and prepare to change lanes when it is safe to do so. 2. Be prepared for drivers who wait until the last second to move to the open lane. 3. Maintain reduced speed until you clear the construction area. There should be a sign indicating you are leaving the construction area. 4. Return to the normal driving lane only after checking traffic behind you. Passing traffic. The diagonal stripes on the barricade or vertical panel guide the driver towards the direction to where the traffic is to pass. Pass to the right. Stripes sloping downward to the right means the driver should bear to the right. Pass to the left. Stripes sloping downward to the left means the driver should bear to the left. Flashing arrow panels. Large flashing or sequencing arrow panels may be used in work zones day and night to guide drivers into certain traffic lanes and to inform them part of the road ahead is closed. Flag person. A flag person is often provided in roadway work zones to stop, slow, or guide traffic safely through the area. A flag person wears an orange vest, shirt, or jacket and uses stop/slow paddles or red flags to direct traffic through work zones. 1. A flag person is used in cases of extreme hazard. 2. A flag person's instructions must be obeyed. 3. When instructed to stop, do so in your lane and do not veer right or left. 4. Do not attempt to go forward until the flag person instructs you to do so. 5. Proceed with caution. Expect the unexpected. 6. Always be on the lookout for oncoming vehicles in your lane of traffic. Stop slow. Automated Flagger Assistance Device, AFAD. An automated flagger assistance device, AFAD, is used to control road users through temporary traffic zones. An AFAD is designed to be remotely operated, allowing a flag person to be positioned out of the lane of traffic. Temporary traffic control and roadway work. Zones can also include pilot/escort vehicles, advanced warning signs, or temporary traffic signals. Obey warning signs and barricades. It is a violation to disobey the instructions, signals, warnings, or markings of a warning sign, or to drive around a barricade. The offense is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine of $1 to $200. Fines double in a construction or maintenance work zone when workers are present anywhere in the construction zone. The offense is a Class B misdemeanor punishable by a fine of up to $2,000 and or up to 180 days in jail when a warning sign or barricade has been placed at a location where water is over any portion of a road, street, or highway. Slow-moving vehicle emblem. This emblem is required for all slow-moving vehicles. Slow-moving vehicles are those designed to operate at a maximum speed of 25 miles per hour or less, and the term includes all vehicles, farm and other machinery, and any other road machinery drawn by either animals or slow-moving motor vehicles. The use of this emblem is prohibited on anything other than a slow-moving vehicle. It must not be used on other vehicles or on stationary objects. B. Exceptions. The following do not need the special emblem. 1. A vehicle being used in actual construction work while traveling within the limits of a construction area marked as required by the Texas Transportation Commission. 2. An implement or machinery being towed by a slow-moving vehicle bearing an emblem, if this emblem remains visible. Slow-moving vehicle emblem. Rear. Hazard warning lights. Red tail light flashers, red or amber. Red reflector. Image source. Some images in this chapter are courtesy of the MUTCD 2009 edition, published by FHWA at muct.gov/pdfs/2009/pdf_index. Chapter 6. Signaling, Passing, and Turning. Signaling. A good driver always lets others know if he/she is going to turn or stop. Signaling communicates your intention when driving and helps other drivers around you to plan ahead. A surprise move often results in a crash. Always be alert, watch for others, and give signals for your movements. Always signal when you are going to 1. Change lanes. 2. Make a turn. 3. Pull away from a parking space parallel to the curb. 4. Slow down or stop. 5. Enter or leave a highway. 6. Pull over to the side of the road. How to signal. You may either use turn signal lights or hand and arm signals. If using hand signals, extend your hand and arm well out of the car. Window is shown below. Always make sure your signals can be easily seen by others and signal in plenty of time. Hand and arm signals are usually difficult to see during non-daylight hours, so it is important to make sure your signal lights are working properly. When signaling a stop, pump your brakes a few times to attract attention. Signal continuously for at least 100 feet before turning or stopping, and be sure to turn off your signal lights once your turn is complete. Your unintended signal still means turn to other drivers. Left turn, right turn, stop, or slow down. Passing. Keep to the right. Never drive on the left side of the road when 1. Pavement markings or signs prohibit driving on the left, a no passing zone, or solid lane lines. 2. There are 2 or more traffic lanes in each direction. 3. Within 100 feet of or crossing an intersection or railroad crossing. 4. On a hill, curve, or any other place where vision is limited. 5. Within 100 feet of a bridge, viaduct, or tunnel. Always keep to the right side of the road except when 1. Passing another vehicle on a 2 or 3 lane street. 2. Driving on a one-way street. 3. The right side of the road is blocked. Basic safety rules when you are passing. It is not always safe to pass. Be patient and wait until the time is right. Crashes resulting from improper passing often result in head-on crashes and can be deadly. 1. Make certain the way is clear. 2. Give the proper signal before changing lanes. 3. Tap your horn when necessary to avoid surprising the driver ahead. 4. Avoid cutting in too quickly if you must return to your original lane. How to pass on a 2-lane road. 1. Keep enough distance between you and the car in front of you so you can see ahead clearly. Check the rearview mirror, your side mirrors, and look over your shoulder in your blind spot to make sure the roadway is clear and no other vehicles are passing you. Turn on your left turn signal to alert any drivers behind you. 2. Check well ahead for signs and pavement markings for no passing zones, and always check for oncoming traffic in the left lane. Be sure you have enough time and space to overtake the car ahead and return to the right lane before an approaching car comes within 200 feet of you. 3. Tap your horn when necessary to alert the driver ahead. 4. Pass on the left and do not return to the right lane until you have safely cleared the overtaken vehicle. Wait until you can see the car you have just passed in your rearview mirror before returning to the right lane. 5. Turn on your right turn signal and return to the right lane. Be sure to turn your signal off after you have completed the lane change. Passing on the right. In Texas, you can pass on the right only when conditions permit you to do so safely. 1. The road is clear of parked vehicles or other lane obstructions and is wide enough for 2 or more lanes in each direction. 2. You are on a one-way road. 3. You may pass on a paved shoulder when the vehicle you are passing is slowing or stopped on the main traveled portion of the highway, disabled, or preparing to make a left turn. Do not pass on the right by driving off the paved portion of the highway when another vehicle is passing. 1. Do not increase your speed. 2. Stay in your lane. 3. Safely move as far to the right as you can when being passed on the left and the lanes are not marked. 4. Make it as safe and easy as possible for the other driver to pass you. Blind spot driving. When you are passing, do not drive or linger in the other driver's blind spot. Either pass the other driver or slow down so you are not in another driver's blind spot. It is likely the other driver cannot see you if you are in or near their blind spot. Turning. Turning a corner appears to be a simple operation. However, many crashes and confusion in traffic are caused by drivers who do not turn properly. Refer to the diagram showing the correct method of making right and left turns. There are 7 steps in making a safe turn. 1. Decide before you get to the turning point. Never make a last-minute turn. It is dangerous. 2. Look behind and to both sides to see where other vehicles are before you change lanes. 3. Move into the proper lane as soon as possible. The faster the traffic is moving, the sooner you should move into the proper lane. If you cannot get into the proper lane within 1/2 block before turning, do not turn and continue straight ahead. 4. Give the proper turn signal at least 100 feet before you turn. If using a hand signal, hold the signal until you are close enough to the intersection for others to know your intention. Do not hold the signal while making the turn. You need both hands on the wheel. 5. Slow down to a reasonable turning speed prior to making the turn. Don't use the brake or clutch while turning. 6. To properly execute the turn, stay in the proper turn lane at all times. Make the turn correctly. This will be easy if you are in the proper lane and proceeding slowly enough at the time you begin to turn. 7. Finish the turn in the proper lane. How to make a right turn. 1. Signal for a lane change well ahead of the turning point. When it is safe, move your vehicle to the far right lane. 2. Use your right turn signal and slow down at least 100 feet from the corner. 3. Look both ways before starting to turn. 4. Keep as close as possible to the right edge of the road. 5. Turn using both hands on the wheel. Incorrect right turn. How to make a left turn. 1. Well ahead of the turning point, signal for a lane change. When it is safe, move into the center lane. 2. Use the left turn signal and slow down at least 100 feet from the corner. 3. Look in all directions before starting to turn. Stay to the right of the center line as you enter the intersection. Yield the right halfway to any vehicle approaching from the opposite direction. 4. To complete a left turn, you should turn to the right of the center line of the road into which you are turning by entering the lane, in which you will interfere the least with other traffic. 5. Once you have completed your left turn, you may signal and change lanes if necessary. Making a left turn from a one-way onto a two-way street. If you are turning left from a one-way street, you should turn from the left lane into the right lane, moving in the same direction. Making a left turn from a two-way onto a one-way street. If you are turning left onto a one-way street, enter the street in the lane in which you will interfere the least with other traffic. Other turning procedures. Watch for pavement markings and signs that 1. Permit turning right or left from or into two or more traffic lanes. 2. Give others special turning or lane information.